Reverend Steve, keeping it simple. We're in Matthew 24, and we're going to be in verse 10. And we're talking about the times that we live in and the building up of what's going on. And Jesus describes what's going to go on, what's going on now, and the build up to it, and what's going to happen. And what I've been trying to teach through this whole teaching is that we have to open up our eyes to the gamut of this, how big this really is. It's from the time of, Jesus was telling the disciples when the temple was going to be destroyed in 70 AD till today. We're still his disciples. We are still running the race, and this scripture and this prophecy is still working it out right now, and we have to understand that. And we're coming towards the time of the end, and these things, since the fig tree is back in the land, these things are starting to really take place. And when you do this study, just not look at Matthew 24, look at Luke, look at Mark's account, look at all three accounts. And that's how you have to piece it all together. It's telling the same story, but three different perspectives. And it gives a different perspective of each one. Like I said, Luke is more the times of the 70 AD. It does go into the future and what we're going to experience in the future, but it talks more about 70 AD and the destruction of Jerusalem, which is prevalent in that teaching, which is fabulous because that was written before 70 AD. That's wonderful to know. They found fragments from Luke that's dated before 70 AD, which is quite amazing. So let's get into this. We're gonna be into verse 9, verse 10. We're going to go through this. So then you will be arrested, persecuted, and killed. You will be hated all over the world. We went into that. And many false prophets will appear and will deceive many people. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've been on TikTok a lot lately. And the false prophets that are out there, now there's Christians out there, supposed Christians, I wouldn't call them Christians anymore, that are denying that Jesus is the Son of God, or they're connected, or the Trinity, or all that. That is all coming out of the woodworks, and it's now. Do I believe it's driven by these people? Yeah, I believe that, but I believe there's something else being driven. I think it's purposely being driven by other people behind the scenes, and that's something to really take into account. That there is a cabal, and Paul talks about that things have been working behind the scenes for many years. And since his time, it talks about that in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, that the Antichrist and his spirit has been working since that time. And we have to understand that is what we see. Many of these people may not even believe in Jesus. They just are satanic in nature. And we have to understand that when we look at certain things on TikTok or anything else, we have to take it with a grain of salt. They're not lifting up Jesus, and he's not the center, and he's not